Welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. It's occurred to me that I forgot to actually talk with Mira. Too many damn companions in this game.
Yeah, something wrong?
Can I get some grenades?
Grenades? I didn't think Jedi used grenades.
When you're fighting for your life, you use what's at hand.
Well, I don't like to use them unless they're C5 concussion spheres or the Merson cryoban pellets. Sonic screamers aren't too bad either, just don't use them on a Bith.
Why not?
It makes their head explode like a melon. And don't do it to a Celestin either. Makes their ears bleed and they gibber twice as fast.
I was hoping for something more lethal.
Well, keep hoping, because that's not my specialty. Trust me, mass slaughter weapons just cause trouble.
Interjection. Master, I must disagree. Merely the threat of mass slaughter...
Would you please shut him down? It's been like that ever since he arrived. Here's how to kill this, here's how to kill that.
Correction. Assassination theory and execution of said theories is my primary function. I also possess excellent hearing.
Great.
The explosives aren't always used for killing shape charges or even fragmentation grenade at their moment is great for diversions. Or the Sith that hunt us have no such reservations.
Well, alright. You've got a good point. But look, be careful with them. All it takes is one blaster bolt to your bandolier strap and suddenly you're Paragus. Get it? Alright. Keep your robes on. Here you go. Go ahead and ask.
I was hoping we could talk.
Talk? About what?
Do you understand, man?
Sure, they're easy. That's why I dress like this. When they're looking down to check you out, you can usually smash them on the base of the skull or deliver an uppercut that knocks them flat.
That could work, I guess.
It's simple. When you want a man, you jab him with a Bothan stunner, then while he's screaming in pain, slap some stun cuffs on him. Then starve him for 2 or 3 days until he becomes open to suggestion, then double check his bounty and see if he's worth anything.
That sounds more like hunting.
Call it what you want. Me? I love my targets. Shoot.
Okay. You seem restless.
All this traveling, being trapped in the ship, everything's just too quiet.
Too quiet.
I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life.
Like Nar Shaddaa?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it.
How so?
Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it, activity. Aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive.
Gray showed me how to listen to Nar Shaddaa once, how all life there is connected.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it.
Maybe one day I'll be able to show you.
No thanks. You can keep your Jedi training to yourself. I already know Nar Shaddaa better than you ever will.
Okay.
Alright.
I was hoping we could talk.
Talk? About what?
Just wanted to get to know you a little better, that's all.
Why, you trying to be my mother? No thanks. Already had one. Somewhere.
Just thought you might need a friend.
No thanks. I didn't need friends on Nar Shaddaa, and I don't need them now.
So she says, but she's lying. Such a liar. Alright, Beodor, where is he? Well, I'll go back to Mira in just a second, but there's certain things I need to do.
Having you here has an effect on me, General. I never noticed it years ago. I think my mind was too occupied then.
It's good to hear I'm having a positive effect on you.
I feel calm, more in control. The anger is still there, but I can feel it drifting away. The last years of my life have been defined by it. The Mandalorians, Zerka, and Revan. And above all else, myself, for Malak.
What about me for giving the order?
Never, General. It had to be done. My hands destroyed the Mandalorians. I cannot be forgiven for that.
If Ulic Keldorma could be forgiven for waging war against the Republic, you can be forgiven for saving it.
Even if I did it out of hatred of the Mandalorians?
You did it to save us, to protect us from death.
That might be the truth, but I don't want to see it that way. I can't just ignore the blood on my hands.
You have dwelled in the past for too long. You cannot undo history, but you can change the future.
Even if there isn't, I still feel like I need to do something to make up for it.
Learn the ways of the Force. I could teach you, but you must let go of your anger, or else it will destroy you, and you will fall.
Under your guidance, I feel like I could overcome my anger.
Then we have no time to... then we have no time to waste. Okay.
Yes? Don't worry, I'm a quick learner. Thank you, Yes? If you... Yes, if you... Yes? If you think that... Yes? Yes, Sorry, General. Something...
Well, I suppose I have enough shields. Let me take him with me for a second. Leveling Mira will... I'll put it off. I don't need her right now. Arise a Jedi. Like, he can't wear it? Interesting. Well, I suppose I do have a piece of armor. Interesting. Seems to have problem with... Cannot equip any of it. Well, that's gonna be a problem, isn't it? That he cannot equip the... Yeah, the Sith battlesuit, the Mandalorian, Masasi General, ceremonial armor. It is an issue. Well, let's give him some Sith. Okay. So, what do I want him? There's only so many lightsabers you have to go around, so maybe going one-handed for him would probably be a good idea. And there's only so many lightsabers I can make that are worth it. I don't want to use vibroblades though. I could, but... Okay, I'm gonna give him toughness just so he's capable of resisting more damage. He's gonna have a lot of problems in terms of using force powers because he's unable to equip any of the Jedi robes. I mean, I could give him lighter armor, I suppose, but even that, or just equip his clothing. Maybe his default armor, if I remember? No, actually. He will get me see. Yeah, he's fine. Alright, extra healing. He's not really about the force powers regardless though. Though not having force powers is gonna be a big problem. What should I do? No, I should at least give him speed even if I am unable to use it. But first, force lightning. It's hard to argue against giving him intelligence. I know he doesn't need the skill, but Beodor can be one of the best companions in this respect, just having skills. Okay. More speed. More everything. Oh, smart to not level him up. Okay, I think this is the last level, so I'll finish with that, give him the max speed. That's it. He still doesn't have a lightsaber. I don't have a lightsaber to spare at the moment. Let's see what I can give him. Yeah, even light battle armor is not gonna work here. There might be some that could be made for him. That's actually Beodor's main problem. You don't have any Jedi robes for him.
Yeah, something wrong?
There are some questions I want to...
Go ahead and ask.
I am not having this conversation with that fucking droid in the background.
Finally decided to let me take a look at your circuitry.
Answer: indeed I did. I hope you understand how difficult it is for me to trust a meat bag with something as delicate as my inner mechanics. Explanation: our encounters with my copies has convinced me that I should look into upgrading my capabilities in order that I may be able to destroy them with greater impunity.
Worried you might be going obsolete? I understand.
Objection: nothing of the sort. I am programmed to improve my capabilities if it will improve my chances of destroying a target, even as unsavory an avenue as this.
You don't have to suffer on my account. Maybe you are better off not letting me dig around in you.
Retraction: you must understand, my previous interactions with meatbags have rarely been pleasant. Disclosure: after all, most of those meetings involved the termination of said meatbags.
It obviously couldn't have been your charming personality. Now, if you want me to see if I can upgrade your functionality, just let me get to work on you.
Answer: in that case, please go ahead. Just be careful not to damage any of my delicate parts. Analysis: my self-diagnostic indicates that my performance has indeed been improved. Also, many of my systems are reporting improved efficiency. Commentary: I am most pleased with this turn of events. It would appear that my initial analysis of your mechanical abilities was incorrect.
You're welcome. Yes?
My life. I understand.
I only taught you to make you stronger, not serve me.
I do not understand, but the choice is mine whether you permit it or not. I will...
Okay.
My life.
Okay.
My life.
Alright, she got that skill. Gonna go talk with Kreia for a second. I still don't have a lightsaber.
Yes. What about it? I warn you, once you deal with the Hutts, they will always have a hold over you. but I am certain that in your short-sightedness, such eventualities do not bother you. Yes. Indeed. How insulting. Now, is there... There. Telos is instrument of...
Yes. He, if he can truly be called a man any longer, is one of the Dark Lords that... One cannot have power of that magnitude that her master possesses and still think and perceive the universe as we do, as most of us do. I had hoped that you would not have to confront him, but her presence here has changed all that. You will have to meet him in battle. You must be prepared to sacrifice the Blinded One. Perhaps her death will buy you the time you need to deal with her master.
How did he destroy her homeworld?
It is a technique that is almost as old as the Sith themselves. It is a means of severing connections between life, the Force, and feeding upon the death it causes. It cannot be taught. It can only be gained through instinct, through experiencing its effects firsthand.
Do you have an idea why he spared her?
Perhaps he is bound to her, as I am bound to you. If so, there may be a death served by hers. You must...
Yeah, I've already had this conversation.
Perhaps he is bound. Because it is not something that can ever truly be controlled, and it leaves nothing to conquer in its wake. And it rules him, not the other way around. It has its own will, its own instincts.
How can anyone have that power?
Power? Do you think so? You would be wrong. There is no strength in the hunger he possesses, and the will behind his power is a primal thing. And it devours him as he devours others. His mere presence kills all around him, slowly feeding him. He is already dead. It is simply a question of how many he kills before he falls.
To an extent, I've had this conversation with her, but I think I may have missed something. Anyway, how is he able to perform such slaughter?
Nothing is impossible with the Force. It is an energy that flows through all living things. And like energy, it may be harnessed, channeled, and consumed at times. It may even be a substance that can burn and ignite. Do not think of his power as one would a weapon, or one of your warships of the Republic. It is terrible, but it is still a subtle thing. The sect of assassins that chase you feed on the Force. What he does is simply the pinnacle of what they could achieve in time. And that is why they and their techniques must be wiped out. No one again must experience and learn what her master did.
How are they able to drain the Force?
As much as one may use the Force to bolster the wills and strengths of others, the reverse is possible, though not often used. Instead of sending one's will through connections in the Force, instead such connections are drawn upon, fed upon, and drained completely.
But all life is touched by the Force.
Then you understand how terrible such a power is, and why it must be ended. It is an empty road to the dark side, and by traveling it, the price is death before one's time. He is a breach in the Force, capable of consuming the lives of those around him. Sometimes the touch is slow, as it is with his crew.
So he feeds on Force sensitives.
It is not something he can direct or focus, much like hunger itself. He is more of a hole in the Force than a living thing. Force sensitives and worlds rich in the Force draw him. The Miraluka world was one such place. That is why where the Jedi gather, Jedi will die. He will feel it, unless they mask their presence. But Qatar called out as a beacon to him, and he could not resist it. And he cares nothing for the Sith, or its teachings, or the Jedi. And when the Jedi are dead, he will feed on the galaxy, the Republic, and eventually consume the Sith as well. There is no future in the empty galaxy he sees, and that is why he must be stopped. The breach must be sealed before his power grows beyond what even we can hope to stop.
He's no longer a man?
One cannot have power of that magnitude that her master possesses and still think and perceive the universe as we do, as most of us do. I had hoped that you would not have to confront him, but her presence here has... You... I know of them, yes, and how much like beasts they had become. Combined, united against the Jedi, they command legions of Sith. But above these legions there are 3 who must be stopped. As long as any one of them lives, then we, and all life, are doomed. One bathes in pain, feeds on it for sustenance. The other has ceased being a living being, so consumed by hunger that he has forgotten his own flesh. And the last is a creature of betrayals, for without such things there is no hope. Even now she is difficult to see. She must remain hidden for now until the time is right. If not, then all our efforts will be for nothing. In this you must trust me. If she is exposed too soon, then this war will be over before it has begun. Yes, of pain he has learned much. Of knowledge, of teaching, he knows nothing. Like the others, he was spawned by the horrors of the Mandalorian Wars. He exists solely to spread his pain to all Jedi everywhere. He, if he can truly...
Okay. This is not a slave, not any longer.
Entertain what illusions you will. I am too tired to argue them with you.
That was an influence check that I just met there. She will only reveal this if you have a high or low influence with her, I guess.
Yeah, something. Talk.
Yes.
Why, you trying to be my mother? No thanks. Already had one. Somewhere.
Just thought you might need a friend.
No thanks. I didn't need friends on Nar Shaddaa, and I don't need them now. Shoot.
Were you raised on Nar Shaddaa?
Look, before we get into a game of Guess the Pazak card, pull back on the throttle. I don't know you that well to start sharing our life stories.
I was just hoping we could talk.
About what? Why? Look. Go ahead. Anhar's only a bounty hunter because that's the closest word for what he does. He's not out for credits. It's more vicious than that. And it runs a lot deeper. It's like he's out to make the whole galaxy suffer. Every living thing in it. He wants to break them, ruin them. And when they can't suffer anymore, he wants them dead.
What happened between you and him?
I didn't kill him once. Biggest mistake ever.
What do you mean?
That's a long story. I don't want to get into it. Maybe some other time. Shoot. That's a long story. I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to.
Because all life is connected and Malak prove it. You know what the loss of family means, even to your targets.
Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know the Jedi didn't care about life there.
I have never stopped trying to protect others, even in Malachor.
Get away from me. The next time you come and ask me a question, I swear I'll shoot you in the head and dump you out the airlock. What do you want now?
Back off the attitude. I want you to watch the okay.
Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me.
Then it doesn't sound like you've dealt with it.
Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of lost people out there, scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. Sometimes it's like you can almost hear them, like an echo, calling out for each other. And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together.
All things are connected for the Force. From such acts of kindness, great things may come.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me. Go ahead. Yeah,
this is just the influence game.
I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to.
But you don't seem to hold back when you're me.
I know. It's different. I don't know why.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I haven't killed anyone for a long time. But when I'm around you, suddenly it's like I've always been doing it. It's like a reflex. I don't like it. And I don't know when or why it became so easy. Alright.
Where did you get that rocket launcher?
Made it. It's custom for me, which is a good thing, because I wouldn't want anyone using it against me. I can show you how to make rockets, though, if you'd like. All it requires is a good skill with demolitions. Anything else you wanted to know? Go. Why, you trying to be... No thanks.
Ah yes, Mira. Okay. Go to an HK. Why am I taking these two clowns? Answer is influence. I mean, there is influence opportunity with Beador and with Mira, but I'll worry about that later. I kinda missed an opportunity.
You'll find little welcome here, Jedi. For your own good, I recommend you speak to Administrator Adari, quickly finish your business in Kunda, and go.
I should have dragged Mira with me off the platform.
Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. I've had enough of it for a lifetime.
Do you actually believe a Jedi would return here? After all they've done to us? They wouldn't dare.
They certainly would. You remember how they were. Always so superior, so arrogant, and never lending a hand when we really needed them.
I still don't believe it.
You should. My cousin's friend, he used to tend the gardens around the Enclave. He swears he saw a Jedi in Kunda. Could be hiding anywhere.
Well, I hope it's true. I hear there's a bounty on them, and we could certainly use the money.
Unless somebody beats you to it.
And this is why I have a blaster.
The salvagers keep coming here and bothering the militia. If it weren't for the Jedi, we'd be a prosperous community. They brought us nothing but trouble.
Welcome to Kunda. You're a salvager, right? You'll need to see Administrator Adare to get access to the ruins. If you need directions to anything else, just ask.
Do you know who Garovic is?
Garovic is a salvager, the worst one of the lot. Try to stay clear of him. He's a dangerous one to cross.
Where is the Administrator?
Her office is directly behind this room. You really can't miss it. She can see you now if you like. You're not. The only heavily armed people that visit us are either salvagers or mercenaries. And you don't look quite gritty enough to be a mercenary. The things that would most interest you are our weapon merchant Anzeron, the leader of our militia. Akere is still around here somewhere too. He sells droid components. Just go to the central corridor and make a right. His shop is the first on the right. If you get into any trouble, he's the person you'd contact. Unfortunately, recent problems with the salvagers and mercenaries have kept him quite busy. The mercenaries cause disruptions for some of our outlying settlers. They are a constant source of friction for us. I hear the salvagers are having some internal problems too. We hope it will become the new center of government for the settlers. The Administrator has been trying to organize us in the wake of the Jedi Civil War.
It's not a very big building for a central government.
We're a small group of settlers on the edge of Republic space. The building isn't large, but it's only the beginning. Certainly.
Your luck is not of the hapless settler. You are the newcomer that lands in a battered ship, yes. No friendly greetings are here for you.
What are you doing in Kunda?
I come here to speak to the militia and make them understand a truth. Something of mine they have in their possession. It's very unwise to stand in my way. I am done being inconvenienced by you. Another interruption. You must not have heard who I am.
What brings you to Kunda? Do you have any troubles to report? I'm here to help. I just hope you aren't here about Garavek.
Who are you?
Well, call me a defective protocol droid. Manners, right. I'm Barun Modril. I'm Captain Zeron's right-hand man. I help run the militia here. Well, that makes it sound more important than I am. Zeron takes a hands-on role in running the militia. If you have any real trouble, you'd have to go to him anyway.
Isn't hands-on being a good thing?
This is sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. A lot of people are upset with Zeron. He's a hard man and doesn't answer to anybody. Except, I suppose, the administrator. The thing is, he expects everyone to follow all the laws. That's not normally a bad thing, but the mercenaries are used to having a bit more freedom. So it's like Zeron keeps prodding a rancor with a stun stick. To a rancor, it's just a minor nuisance. But if you keep at it, he's going to fight back. The mercenaries aren't unreasonable. They're mostly just war veterans looking for work. But Zeron just keeps poking them. So he has to get involved to make sure that the militia does what he wants. Otherwise, we'd probably give the mercenaries some room.
With some people, if you give them a little room, they'll take more.
Dantooine has had mercenaries on it for years. I've talked with some, and they're not unreasonable. There's got to be some sort of compromise we can both live with.
I hear they've been making a lot of mischief lately, maybe even murder.
We haven't been able to prove the mercenaries have done anything terribly wrong. And I believe them. I don't think they're involved. The Kathhounds and Kinrath are everywhere. It's just dangerous. I think we should be working on getting along. It's hard to follow orders that have you make things worse.
That attitude is dangerous. When you're outnumbered on a hostile world, you gotta stay as a team.
That's a good way of looking at it. I may not agree with the captain, but I guess I should make everyone fall in line. I still worry that he may provoke the mercenaries into something more dangerous. But I suppose he may know something I don't. Thanks.
Seems like Dantooine has had a lot of trouble.
I don't even want to get into it. Ask around if you want to know the details. It'll just make my headache worse if I talk about it. I don't know what we'd do without Administrator Adare. She managed to plow through a lot of the family bickering once the Sith left during the war. She's kept us together. Oh, and, Zeron too, I suppose.
It sounds like you don't approve.
This is... You should see Administrator Adare about that. She'll be able to set you up. You're not a typical salvager, so I don't expect you'll have any trouble there. I've heard that rumor too. People get really riled up about Jedi around here. Some people seem to have a selective memory. During the war, the Jedi were a big help here. They did everything for us, from clearing out dangerous beasts to solving a murder investigation. I try to stay out of it, though. Standing up for Jedi is one way to become unpopular around here.
Do you know if the rumor is true?
Maybe. Although I don't know why a Jedi would come back here. The only reason why people ever came here before was the Enclave. And with that gone...
If no one says anything on their behalf, the rumor can feed on itself.
Easy to say for someone that doesn't live here. I'd rather grab an unshielded power coupling than get involved in that debate. The militia's dealing with enough already.
If good men say nothing, then the dark side triumphs.
You're not wrong there. For what good it'll do, if it comes up, I'll say what I think is right. You happy? I hope so. You may be my only friend in a few days. Talking about Jedi is just depressing these days. Any other cheerful problems you want to talk about? I don't even want to get into it. Ask around if... I don't know what we'd do without Administrator Adare. She managed to plow through a lot of the family bickering once the... All right.
Dochi monas runta. Yun posoma. Hoshmanfu ni wado ni kuta maasapa. Hoshmanfu ni wado ni kuta. Insoranaka megunso. Parachi no sukankadon. Makamando. Jenish milaka wachino so impos morcha chani rikas. Pararanta miki sikosos. Yewenara. Parachi no sukankadon. Makamando. Parachi no sukankadon. Makamando. Hoshmanfu ni wado ni kuta maasap. Hoshmanfu ni wado ni kuta maasapa. Tonghit wama. Lurko bochino! Insorana. Pararanta miki sikosos. Chuta.
Not bad. I'll say perception gloves. Okay. That can help. Blade, the Chani battle armor. Just gonna buy a... There we go. Zeron.
I'm the militia captain here. Are you here because you're in trouble or looking for it?
I'm looking for you. For it. For the proper price.
Depending on how greedy you are, we might have some work for you. Before that, though, you got any other reason for coming to militia headquarters?
I went to see if anyone needed a hand.
Rare thing a visitor wanting to help out. Looks to me like you're here to explore the Jedi ruins. But we have a thing or two that need doing. You seriously want to help, just ask about it. Or any other questions you might have. You want something?
What's Garavik's connection to the militia?
Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. It's the most valuable haul the salvagers ever got. But all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so some salvager comes claiming they're owed by such and such, or that they're related. The whole thing makes me sick. Garavik says he won the whole claim in a Pazak game with the last survivor, right before he killed him. But that was a fair fight. There were witnesses. But nobody remembers Garavik ever playing Pazak. I just hope someone takes this blasted claim off my hands. I'm tired of those lowlives pestering me. We've got real work to do. You want something?
What sort of work do you have?
I've seen a lot of visitors come through Kunda. You're the first one in a while that looks the capable sort. We have a small problem with Kinrath. Maybe you've already seen some of them. They're coming from a cave in the Kunda Plains. I'd take care of it myself, but there aren't many people in the militia. We'd lose too many men. There's a reward if you do it.
Why is this place overrun with Kinrath?
Kinrath are normally just pests. We think something happened to their nest. Started near the end of the Civil War. Nobody knows for sure. Even the Ithorian. And they're smart about such things.
How dangerous is it?
Very. The Kinrath you see on the plains aren't as tough as the ones inside the caves. They may not look much different, but they are tough.
How much is the reward?
2,000 credits.
With so few settlers, lives are much more important than credits.
I agree with you, but I don't barter. I got more important things to do.
What do you know about the cave?
We used some explosives to seal a cave a couple years back. Just made them angrier. They burrowed another entrance even closer to us. I know there are crystals in there too. Some of the salvagers once thought about going in there to get some extra credits. Too many Kinrath, though. Cave is on the southeast side of the plains. Shouldn't be hard to find. That's all I can ask. You want something? You really should talk to Baroon about general questions. It's our home. Might be the start of an honest capital someday. Right now, it's not much more than a swoop bike stop. I don't have anything to say about that. She's smart. She gets things done. The whole place would fall apart without her. Dantooine isn't the center of much anything. Our most talented people sometimes leave. Hard for someone to stay a farmer when they have the itch to do something greater. So we're lucky the administrator never went elsewhere. I bet she'd make a decent senator even. There aren't more than a dozen of us, and there's too many problems. People keep hoping that the Republic sends help. But we gotta help ourselves.
A visitor. Please, come in. Welcome to Kunda. I am Administrator Turina Adari. You're the owner of the, ship that just landed?
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Depending on your business here, the pleasure may be mutual, but you didn't answer my question. Is that ship yours? And unless I'm much mistaken, that's the Ebon Hawk. That vessel has been on Dantooine before, during the war. That was a Jedi vessel.
Don't tell me you want to collect the bounty.
Of course not. I'm trying to stabilize an entire planet. An exchange bounty, no matter how abundant, is little use in that endeavor. But if a Jedi were here, that would best be kept secret. Right or wrong, our settlers blame the Jedi and their hidden enclave for their suffering. I remember the old Jedi Masters and the considerable help they lent to Dantooine. I still maintain discreet connections with Jedi. I suppose your arrival here is no coincidence.
I'm looking for a Jedi. Could you tell me who you're talking about?
My friend. Let's just call him Frook. We've known each other for many years, and our continued friendship could create many problems in the current political climate. He came to Dantooine not too long ago. He was looking into something quite important. He's gone missing recently. Did he send for you in case something went wrong?
He didn't send for me, but I'd like to meet with him.
Brooke and I had a mutually beneficial arrangement for several weeks. He went to the Jedi Enclave sublevel recently and hasn't returned. I know the sublevel is dangerous. I'm starting to fear the worst. Would you be willing to go to the ruins of the Enclave to look for him?
I'll make it my first priority.
We are fortunate that you've come. Don't expect it to be easy, though. Things rarely are with Jedi. I will have one of the militia transmit permissions to the Enclave's security door. Go expecting danger, for you will most certainly find it there. Is there anything else I can assist you with? To most people in the galaxy, the distinction between Sith and Jedi is a blurry one, especially since most Sith were once Jedi. It is complicated by the fact that Malak and Revan were great heroes of the Republic and famed Jedi Knights. But a few years later, they were leading an armada which threatened everyone. And here on Dantooine, the Jedi Enclave provoked a brutal occupation by the Sith. It could have been far worse, but even now the damage has not been fully mended. I don't think everyone hates Jedi. If just a few people changed their minds or spoke up, it could make a great deal of difference. I think that we need the help of the Jedi. If the Jedi's reputation isn't redeemed, the consequences could be quite regrettable. Until then, I would keep your identity secret. There are plenty of opportunities to assist people on Dantooine. Too many, I'm afraid. I would go to the militia headquarters and make your intentions known there. Besides that, just listen and ask around. Who do you want to know about? There are 3 groups of people on the planet right now. The settlers, salvagers, and the mercenaries. Mercenaries have been a problem for Dantooine since the end of the Mandalorian Wars. When the Jedi Enclave was here, they were firmly kept in check. But now, relations are uneasy between us. Their leader, Azkul, was a Sith trooper during the war, and I have no doubt he was very good at his job. Until they find work, tensions will grow. If you want to know more, I suggest you talk with Barun in the militia headquarters. He would have more details. They are a necessary inconvenience. Money has been a great concern to us, ever since the Sandrals and Matalays were removed during the Jedi Civil War. The agricultural exports we produce just cover basic maintenance. To expand and prosper, we needed credits, so we had to exploit a valuable resource we had, the ruins of the Jedi Enclave. It was not a decision lightly made, and even then we couldn't do the work ourselves. Too dangerous, and every settler matters on our small world. So we opened the door to enterprising salvagers. The salvagers you see now are the last remnants of that force. The tithe we took from their claims sustains what semblance of government you see now.
What are you going to do when the ruins are empty?
We plan on using those credits to improve production and protect our world. We have enough to sustain ourselves until more prosperous times.
Can you coexist happily with them?
We tolerate their presence because we must, and they generally follow our laws. But their time is almost over. The Jedi Enclave's sublevel is the only place left with reasonable salvage, and it has too many dangers for them. The salvagers aren't warriors. Generally, they are out-of-work miners or cast-offs from other worlds. Mercenaries have been a problem for Dantooine. If you...
Okay, I think I can remove Goto at least. He's not a fighter.
Ready.
Ready to serve. Ready to serve.
The honor is mine.
Yep. I will give her dual wielding capabilities. I guess I could give her that. Attributes. She needs more constitution if she's gonna be useful in any respect. Or else she'll just die very quickly. She doesn't need more treat injury, I reckon. Okay. I suppose I could increase that. Master heal. That will help.
It's you want. There aren't more than a dozen of.
Are you waiting for the administrator too? You won't have to wait too long. But if you want results, now that you may never get here. I'm here to get another pat in the back from the administrator and hear how unfortunate my situation is. That my problem is important, and they'll get around to it.
I'm sick of all their excuses and empty words. I need justice now.
I fought in the war, and I know how to use my blaster rifle. If the administrator or Zeron doesn't do something, then I will.
Salvagers are the problem. They strip bare the ruins that belong to the people of Dantooine. Then they sell what they find back to us at inflated prices.
I'm not a violent man. I've had my share of it in the war. I sincerely hoped I could just hang my blaster rifle on the wall as a souvenir for my grandchildren.
But I can't farm without my equipment. Well, yes and no. I brought my moisture vaporator to Kunda to be serviced. On the way back to my farm, I took a shortcut next to the Enclave ruins. Damn Lagrix came out of nowhere. I had to run before they made a meal of me. When I returned to retrieve my equipment, the salvagers had already stripped it bare.
A lot of farming equipment. It's not even valuable, just important for the moisture vaporators and hydroprocessors. The thief must be desperate for credits. It's hard to deal with womp rats when you got a Gundark on your back. I believe she'll get around to it, but I think by then it'll be too late.
I understand that the wheels turn slowly on this sort of thing, but my crops are in immediate danger. The salvaging laws on Dantooine are a mess, and in my mind they favor the salvagers.
My farm is the closest to the Enclave ruins. It has to be someone nearby, and if the mercenaries wanted it, they'd just take it in broad daylight. The closest place besides that is the salvager camp, so it has to be them. You ever met one of them? Thievery wouldn't be too far a stretch for any of them. The other day I had to take a shot at one of them. Soon someone is going to get killed, and Dantooine has enough trouble without that. A lot of farming equipment. It's not... I suppose you could. Actually, you almost look like a salvager.
If you could go to this salvager camp and convince the salvager Joran to return my modulator, I would be very grateful.
I'm not rich, but I have some souvenirs from the war I could give you. That's great. I'm certainly not getting any help around here. If you need to know anything more, just ask me.
A lot of people here hate Jedi, but when they were here, they tried helping us. I don't blame them.
Alright. The plains of Dantooine. The turret appears. What? Darth Malak armor. Okay. Well, I need light armor proficiency then. Wait, actually, what do I need? I should have light armor proficiency. Come on. Ah. Restricted to the dark side.
Sorry, this door is blocked off. Hey, get away from that door! The last time somebody messed with it, it was locked down for months before we could fix it.
Okay. So there's 2 ways I can go, actually 3 ways by the looks of it. Or no, just 2. East and west. There's going to be some enemies here that are quite tricky to deal with. The calf hounds, for instance.
Assassination protocol initiated. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
It'll be useful in dealing with them. Actually, I've switched to her. They're beasts. They don't have anything special. Oh
shit. Prejudice set to maximum. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Ready to serve.
How may I serve?
Okay.
Oh, a visitor comes to our delightful salvager camp. We are honored. Do you come bringing your credits and curiosity? Am I that transparent to you? Apparently this is so. I am Ralon, known throughout this camp for the many artifacts of value that I have uncovered. An expert, this is certain. A question I pose to you, traveler. Do you wish to buy one of the most elusive of all Jedi artifacts? A powerful Jedi holocron. This is no idle boast, traveler, but a fact. A holocron is easily worth many thousands of credits to any Jedi, but I will sell it to you for a low price. I ask a mere 1,000 credits for this rare find. This is not a matter of negotiation. You should buy it quickly before others come. I assure you it isn't. I will show it to you presently. As you can see, it is in fine shape. A real bargain at a mere 1,000 credits.
That is a remarkable fate, but it's not even worth the time you've wasted describing it.
How did you know? Will I never unload this accursed thing? This isn't my fault. You can't blame me.
Actually, I can blame you violently.
I apologize immensely. But surely you recognize that attacking me here will pose problems. The militia and the salvagers will hunt you.
Give me the fake holocron now.
I will not. Very well, take it. Leave me to my poverty, my suffering. Have you come to join the others and mock my misfortune? Go away. You've added to my already considerable troubles.
My life is yours.
Tapele gathered a group to go to the sub-level.
You a new salvager? Or one of those Kunda cantina rats coming here to complain? Well, we don't need another one. Look around this camp. We got the salvaging more than covered. I'm gonna give you some advice. Turn back. There's nothing you're gonna find. Don't tell me that flaming Solru sent you. I went over all this with Zeron. We've been hit by the flaming thief more than he has. Every other night it seems we find something missing. And it's not like we have much. We keep asking Zeron to help us, but he sends us nobody. So the thief keeps coming from the ruins or whatever hole he lives in and taking what's ours. If we ever catch him, we'll take our time killing him. The only guess I've heard is it's a mercenary that's been kicked out. Most of them leave us alone. They focus most of their attention on the settlers. But we really don't know. I hear he's planning to shoot anybody that goes on his farm. I'm just glad we're not the only people suffering. Maybe if he moans enough, the militia will do something. That's our best guess. Sneaky as sin, but Raylan caught a glance of him that way. We keep hoping the Legrex finish the thief off, but that would be far too easy for us. If you haven't met Raylan, though, he's not reliable. He's in the camp if you want to talk to him about the thief. If you must. If you can do something about the thief, do it and get out of here. There's nothing for you here anyway. Because anything valuable in the ruins was carted away months ago. The only salvagers left are either desperate, ornery, or not right in the head. And while you look dirty enough to be here, I don't think you're any of those things. So go back to Kunda. I've been here the longest, and I'll be here last. I buy Jedi salvage from the ruins. Slow business now, but I get by. Sometimes I sell them to visitors like yourself. Besides, that's none of your flaming business. You should have let me know you're a customer instead of letting me think you're some disease-ridden salvager. Let me show you what I've got. If you're not going to listen to anybody, maybe you can help me out. The only place that has anything is the sub-level. And only a couple of fools have gone there. And they're now dead fools. Yeah, I'd like to do the decent thing and get their bodies and put them to rest. That hole isn't a fit place for a salvager. So, if you find a couple human corpses down there, just grab their gear and their bodies. I'll pay you 500 credits for each of them. Us salvagers that are still here have to stick together.
To battle. You are no match for us.
I'll be going to the ruins, but not now. First, there's other things I want to deal with. Like killing all the calf hounds, dealing with the insects. They're not really doing any damage, though. I probably should use battle meditation, really.
A weakness is revealed.
Mandalorians.
You've wandered into the wrong camp. You got the look of a warrior, and we got all the blasters we need. If you're looking for work too, just take a trip spaceward. We don't need any more competition. Got it? I know about the thief. The amount of noise the settlers have made over that thief, you'd think he stole their whole planet. Before you ask, I have no idea who the thief is. It's not one of us. If we wanted something that bad, we'd just take it. It's just another spaceport to me. We've been here too long for my tastes. And the settlers... We have to live somewhere. Something those settlers don't seem to understand. That flaming administrator and her cath hound Zeron can't keep their noses out of our business. There's a natural order to things that they just don't seem to get. They'll learn. Just make sure these settlers know their place. The Republic isn't going to send a single trainee to help this planet. It galls me to think we fought wars to protect Gizka like them. They don't do anything to help themselves, and they don't know how to take responsibility. They're on their own, and either they should start working and stop whining, or else they're in for a tough ride. She's got spirit, but she seems to focus most of her effort on trying to get us off this planet. Terena has to learn that we aren't moving. I have time to kill, and talking... What if we do? They're practically begging to be pushed around. You've seen them, right? They're weak.
Their skills may not lie solely in warfare. This isn't a failing.
You sound like a flaming Jedi. I didn't just mean their weapons. I meant their character. They're very quick to blame everyone but themselves for their problems. So the galaxy has dealt them a bad hand. They should ante up and get back in the game. The administrator is different. Most of us are the real... A Sentient by the name of Azkul. He was an elite trooper for Malak during the Jedi Civil War. He knows how to wage war.
Why haven't you been able to line up a job?
We had a contract with the Republic, doing some work in the Outer Rim. But they scaled back, and we were some of the casualties. Now the Republic isn't hiring anymore. I hear they have no credits. We find ways to divert ourselves. A lot of us find odd jobs. There are many more mercs around than what you see on Dantooine. We're spread out. I have time to... What?
Can I help you? Just trying to make a living. At least there's still people in the galaxy who know our value. It's not glamorous work, but a man has to eat, right?
Well, he's got a point.
Optimal accuracy ratio acknowledgement.
How may I
Optimal. Ratio achieved.
Alright, what do you know about the other mercenaries? Why did they keep you out of the loop? I'm an explorer like you, can sure. Do you have an extra scent gland? I want to hold your gland. My need is greater than yours. Nice bug though with the dialogue. That was infuriating.
My life is yours.
Yes, Master.
A weakness is revealed.
Okay.
Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
I can fight the Kinrath.
Assassination protocol initiated.
Well, that's bugged to all hell and back. Where did he... He really is bugged. Or maybe I just need to restart my game.
Yutapak, mito, haibes niksa tochim. Yatuka. Huta. Kavanatagalu. Kavanami. Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak miki. Yatuka uwanrika chotin. Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak. Yatuka uwanrika. Kavadumpa mo. Yatuka uwan. Yatuka uwan. Bram tabanin soch. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani. Bram tabanin sochu. Yatuka u. Yatuka.
A weakness revealed.
Alright, I don't need the scent gland, to be honest. I was wondering if I could get influence. I could get him killed. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Don't need to worry too much about that. The Kinrath are not going to be a big problem.
Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
Easy.
Optimal accuracy ratio.
I guess I could use more Constitution. Alright, feet-wise.
Achieved.
Okay, I need to keep going for the crystals. I'll be back there. There we go.
Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
These guys are pretty pathetic. Ah, this will be a bit more difficult. Or not.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you.
Echoes. I feel echoes of the Force here.
Force-sensitive locations such as this absorb and reflect Force energy. The crystals are the catalyst here. I sense that Revan once passed through here, leaving a strong impression behind in the crystals. Perhaps future Jedi who visit this cave will feel our presence, as if seeing our footprints preserved in the soil.
You said the crystals absorb the Force. I feel stranger, but now weaker.
The crystals here do not drain Force energy from Jedi. They collect the excess energy that radiates from those attuned to the Force.
Tell me more about these crystals.
The crystals here are infused with the Force. Some could be harvested and used for lightsabers.
Okay. Oh boy.
Ready to serve. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved.
My bad.
Yes, Master.
How may I serve?
Yes, Master.
The crystal responds to you. This is very rare indeed.
What does it mean?
The crystal's bond with you is such that the stronger you become in the Force, the more powerful your crystal will grow. This crystal will make an excellent focus for a lightsaber.
Is the crystal a threat to me?
Quite the contrary. Picture yourself as a sieve, and the Force as water pouring into you, This crystal draws from the excess water that escapes the sieve.
Does the crystal feed off the light side of the Force?
The crystal is in tune with you. It will use whatever water that pours through you, be it dark or light.
Okay. Ah, I killed the matriarch. Didn't even realize it. Hold on, did I miss anything? I got the lightsaber crystal attuned to me that levels up with me, I think. It's quite useful. Okay. Back to Kunda, maybe.
Optimal utility ratio achieved.
What? You shouldn't sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be out of here anyway. This is Kinrath territory. There was a time when seeing a Kinrath was a rare thing. They mostly were around some caves to the south of here. But now, they're everywhere. They're dangerous too. More vicious than they used to be. I'd stay away from the eastern side of the plains. And now that I think about it, stay away from the west too. The west is filled with cat hounds. Dantooine is in a sad state these days. Mostly because the Republic has left us to fend for ourselves. I gave the Republic the best years of my life, and I understand they're under pressure. But I think that they'd be able to spare at least something to help us out. All we get is sympathy. Some law and order, for one thing. Take what I'm doing right now. A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the western fringe farmers was coming to Kunda on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try to figure out if that's what really happened. I'm one of the Kunda militia. They need all the able bodies they can get. I was a Republic custom inspector before I came back home. Now I'm the closest thing the militia's got to an investigator. I do. The Kinrath are dangerous, But as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch you. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe our man just got sloppy. We really need those atmospheric sensors. I don't suppose you'd be willing to keep an eye out for something, It's technical. I doubt you'd understand it. But I'd really appreciate your help. I doubt you'll be able to find any evidence of what happened here. But you might come across the atmospheric sensors. They have to be somewhere. If you find any of them, just come back here. I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one you can find, even if they're broken. No idea whatsoever. I figure it's a real long shot you'd ever spot one. But I also figure it wouldn't hurt to ask.
I shall make this one see.
Okay then. That's Dantooine. At least the intro part of it. Gonna go into the Enclave and...
Do you feel it? The wound on this world, it is centered here. If we succeed in gathering the Jedi, they will come to this place. And if those Jedi are slain, then all that remains of the Order shall be drawn here as well.
When will this happen?
You will know when the time comes. And I hope our enemies do not